So my name's Cam with Key-Lix, and today I came up and brought some tubs up here to a good friend of mine, Travis Tate. And Travis, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, we started running cows about 6 years ago, and learned a lot along the way, the process of it and how to take care of them. But we tried a lot of different minerals and powders and different things to keep the animals healthy and looking good. And we found that Key-Lix was affordable, and not only affordable, but it made a huge difference with our animals. I learned real quick that a good healthy cow calves out a healthy calf, and you have less complications, and long run that's going to save you money down the road.
Yeah.
So
how long have you been in the ranching industry?
Well, we started doing sheep probably 15, 20 years ago. We did sheep for quite a few years, and then we started doing cows about 6 years ago.
Yeah. And how's that been working out? Do you like the ranching industry?
I do. It's a lot of fun. Always learning something. Always something new to deal with.
Yeah.
But enjoy working outside and taking care of animals.
Yeah. I mean, what would you say some of the biggest complications are in running cattle? What are some of the things you run into that maybe will make it a little bit harder?
Well, sickness is a big thing. We had a lot of scours last year to deal with, and we did a lot of loss last year. That's probably one of our biggest things, just keeping them good and healthy and keeping the good feed in front of them. And it's not always dependent on the year with moisture and temperature and everything like that. The season affects the hay quality, and well, that comes back to this, the mineral tubs. So you can put those in place of where you might be lacking in your feed.
Yeah. So you've been using Key-Lix for, I don't know, what, like a year now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little over a year.
Do you feel like you've seen a difference in your cattle?
Yeah, we've noticed a huge difference in our cattle. One thing I noticed this year in particular is the hair they're putting on for winter. You know, they have a nice good coat on them. They've filled out quite a bit. Off the cattle, we're also using it for our horses.
Yeah. And
I've noticed a huge difference on our horses. They just look a lot better, especially after going through winter. They look really good this spring. And even my daughter, she's 14, and she's like, man, those make a difference. The other place I noticed a huge difference, last summer was our first summer using Key-Lix with the garlic in it, and our flies were down 75%. I didn't put out we didn't oil any of them. We didn't put any chemical on them.
Really?
We just used Key-Lix with the garlic, and our fly situation was, in my mind, 100 times better than it was in years past.
That's good to hear.
So,
that's good to hear. Well, that's awesome. I mean, we appreciate you in the ranching industry, and as you know, Key-Lix, we want you guys to benefit off of Key-Lix. We want to see you guys have a return on your investment. We want to help your cattle. Do you feel like maybe since you've been using, these are the 20% SAF moss tub, do you feel like since you've been using that, maybe you've had to doctor a little less at all? Or
definitely doctored less, which saves us a ton. And our breed back this year was great. I think we only had 2 that didn't.
Oh, really?
That didn't
take.
take.
I didn't know that. That's actually
so
really
we
good.
actually did, which is great, because if they're not bred, you know, you sell them and whatnot, and we didn't have to deal with any of that this year. We only had 2 that weren't, and there could be other things going with those anyway. So
yeah, well, that's awesome. Do you have any thoughts on the importance of mineral for any other ranchers? Any other advice that way, as far as if it's the importance of the mineral instead of just, you know, feeding hay and not having a mineral out there? Or?
Yeah, no, it's huge, because I've got a partner, and he's got a lot of sheep down at his place, and he's had like in this area and down where he's at, we have a deficiency in selenium.
Okay.
And he had a lot of issues with that last year, and we got that all corrected now, and he'll be using the Key-Lix down there. But it definitely, and it, you know, this is something that he could probably just pull off with any lick, but you know, why wouldn't you have the good quality licks? But even in the winter when the water's really cold for the animals to drink, some of the, especially the horses, they'll slow down on their water consumption. And so it's important to have a good quality mineral in front of them for that. And a little more work because I'm having to keep the water full for them more, but they're healthier for it.
Yeah. So I guess one last question is, do you feel like the consumption's like right on, it's in a good place? Do you feel like you might be saving a little bit money as compared to other minerals where there might be a little bit more consumption that way?
You know, from the cheap ones I was buying, and they were about the cheapest you could get, I pay a little more for these, but they last longer, and I'm getting more for my money in the long run. Now that we've done it for over a full year now, I can see the savings, and it's really worth it. Like I said, my partner's a banker, and he's a numbers guy, and he was like, whoa, we spent a little more on, did you buy more licks? And I said, no, I bought a little bit better quality one. We'll see how it goes. Now, he's like, yeah, we're saving money because of it. And it's all about the numbers. So
that's awesome. Well, that's great to hear. I really appreciate your time here today, Travis, and I'm glad we got you on the Key-Lix and you're happy with it. So
well, that goes both ways. We appreciate your customer service. I mean, gosh, you guys run them right out. When I call down to the office for whatever reasons, they're always super helpful down there, and we appreciate the customer service because that goes a long way with quality products. So
yeah, well, we definitely care about our ranchers. Want to make sure you guys are happy. So
thank you.